What's good, YouTube? And welcome to the house. This thick boy is a sick boy, but the market waits for no man, woman, or whatever you might identify, such as, maybe somebody for hire. Now, the prices have been really crazy on the pre-sales for Dark Saviors. I've got 3 different sites for you guys to look at. Then we're going to talk about some side deck cards that are starting to trend upwards very fast, and with the WCQ around the corner, you know, in the room at the WCQ/Nationals, some of those cards are just going to spike through the roof, similar to a card last year we'll talk about as well. But let's talk about this first price here. $114 for Sky Striker Mobilize Engage. Troll and Toad's completely out of this card, actually, and there's some reasons to come over here as well, but completely out. So this has gone from one pre-sale on the US market on Yu-Gi-Oh singles here. Well, you're already at free shipping, there's the plus, but I'd realistically stay away from this like I would have in Permanence, but Impermanence is now pushing above Yu-Gi-Oh singles pre-sales prices before as well. There's only going to be about 4 to 6 of these per case, but if we're hitting near 2 playsets per case, will this realistically hold price? Will people be digging through cases just through these or for these? We're going to find out soon. But also, Widow Anchor, also similarly 4 to 6 per case. It's already sold out over here at $34 a piece. That's pretty crazy. Now, these deck cores, usually I really flaunt the deck cores over here at Yu-Gi-Oh! Singles, the for hire deck base, Vampire deck base, and I was kind of excited to look at the Vampire deck base, but they do kind of put you down to one of the Xyzs, and then they put you at 2 of a lot of things, and then 3Zs. I don't know, you might want to go ahead and put in your cart what you realistically need to order if you're going for these deck bases, such as they only have 1 beat in here, and I understand beat is short printed, but you're going to play 3 of those things. So you definitely do want to go ahead, add in your cart, and shop around, because I have your guys' best interest at my heart. I get something when you use this code, HOCWGYT5 over here. But if we do go over to Troll and Toad, we do see the beat is at $7, and even with my 5%, if you're shopping around at Yu-Gi-Oh! Singles, it's a little bit more. It's $8.32 here. So certain decks, you're going to want to take a look, a gander around, and compare prices. But absolute madmen right here. Once again, we know that Afterburner should be shorted a little bit, and it seems that they just don't care. They assess this card as it's not going to be played in multiples in a lot of decks. Let's get rid of it. Let's get our stock out early. They're by far the lowest on any market at $10.41. Absolute madmen. We come through, they're lower on Toon Table of Contents than most sites. Earlier it was blacked out, so it looks like it's back in stock. Let's double check. Let me refresh and make sure it's there for you guys and I'm not misleading. That should have been a refresh. Yeah, it already refreshed. It just took me back here. They're also lower than a lot of sites on both of the blue cards, and way lower on Ray. She actually doesn't even make their first page. They're by far the lowest right now on Ray. They're just trying to get their cards out and go. And actually, Citadel, I was thinking, like, this might be a good thing to get a bunch of. The Secret Rare is going to look nice. It's going to be its highest rarity, even though an Astral Pack Super 4 just came out. This card has gone up and up and up, time and time again, just over time. It's kind of one of those casual collector cards slash weird mechanics in the game that they're starting to focus on again. Sorry for my sniffling. We also see some of the lowest prices on Foolish Burial Goods Super, Monarch Stormforth Super, just all the low-end stuff, 69 cents here, when I thought $1.25 over on Troll was like a good deal for Armageddon Night. So they're by far just slaying the market on the lower end stuff. They're not trying to juice. They're trying to make their money on the top heavy cards, and there's really good deals to be had if you fill your cart. But do recall, you only get free shipping if you're around 75 plus US dollars. So take international shipping into account. If you don't have somebody like a team to get together and place a group order to hit that mark, you're stuck paying shipping. But do kind of resource teammates or people you trust to get an order together and split the cards with. That's usually the best way to do this. And Another site, actually, you can use Farfa5 over here at YugiOhCity.com. Has these in stock, but don't get too excited. This is in pounds, and they offer free shipping to my, I believe, European customers or UK customers, if I'm not mistaken. I'll actually have to look that up. I think it's specifically UK. I should have this actually in my messages, but you can use Farfa5, and yeah, it's specifically UK free shipping on orders above 25 pounds. So how much is 25 pounds, or how much is about 70 pounds? That's about 93 US dollars, which is the best on market so far that I've seen, besides Troll's early pre-sales. And then we have Mecha Widow Anchor here at 23 pounds. Like I said, so basically, instead of like the New Zealand dollars where everything goes down, these all go up, and they're relatively well priced though, and you can get 5% off with code FARFA5. So for my UK people out there, this site might be for you. You might want to check it out. I'll link it below with the code. But you don't get free international shipping with any amount or order currently. Hopefully they'll kind of look and compete with other sites, but like I said, if you're a US customer, this seems to be the way to go right now, especially if you can get a group of friends together, or there's also Troll to surf through prices. Now let's go ahead and talk about some of those crazy side deck buyouts that have been kind of happening over here. We've got Shared Ride respiking. I told you guys, if you were really concerned a while back when the gold rares were still 80 cents to $1.20, get them. And it finally spiked again. We see the gold rare here around the $4 to $5 mark. Over here on eBay, there's a 388 German before it spikes above $5 for the gold. The other options are actually similarly priced, so you might as well spend just a little extra because these will come down less quickly when the prices do settle. So you might want to just spend a little bit extra to get the higher rarity. I definitely would personally, but if you're scrounging around, you're budgeting for the WCQ, you're trying to travel and every penny matters, there's the gold rare for you, but it is now expensive too. People are comparing this kind of to Max C. I see similarities, but in Necros format, Max C and Shared Ride did two different things, and it will continue to do two different things. This will definitely be better when you're going first against the Sky Strikers. Yes, they resource the deck like crazy, but you're definitely going to want to consider, I'm going second. This might need to come out for something like Ghost Reaper and Winter Cherries, which is going up. A lot of tubers are suggesting this right now. You have tons of listings from Canada if you can wait. And remember, it did get a new version in Legendary Collection Kaiba, the Kaiba's collection, but you do want to keep in mind that whenever a hand trap sees really heavy use, it goes up towards 14 to 15, even with the reprints. We've seen this with Ogre, we've seen this with Droll. So this could continue to go up if it does see a lot of play in the format. You have the ability to hit Altergeist a little bit, even though they don't go into the extra deck too much. You have the option to, and in Altergeist, of course, this is really good. You have the option to go ahead and hit some of the Sky Striker extra deck monsters, which they do pop into two of them. You have opportunities to hit Spiral Super Agent, ABC Dragon Buster still. The card's not a bad side deck option, especially when you know you are probably going second. Hitting the Spiral, what's his name? It's slipping me right now, boys. We sick. It's the Spiral Super Age Double Helix. There we are. Double Helix, which also has been going up right now. A lot of people are considering this to be one of the decks that you're going to want to play. Or maybe put in something like Invoker and just stop their plays completely. Now, the final card I need to get to is Mystical Space Typhoon. I got the reason for it wrong yesterday. The Sky Strikers in the OCG are popping their own field spell. I made it the pinned comment like 20 minutes after Market Watch went up, but definitely, anytime I'm wrong, I want to make it very clear in video. They're using this to be able to turbo off with their own field spell, and then it's also General Spell and Trap Destruction. Don't hit Waking the Dragon, boys. But they're using it to be able to enable themselves. And so that makes the ultimate rare seem a lot better. I always said if this would come back, it would come back off of being able to utilize both for yourself and against your opponent, and that's where Mystical Space Typhoon will continue to shine. But there's plenty of other versions that aren't even going up right now. We see the Ghost Rare 737s, relatively cheap, and it's also cheap on eBay. It's the other version that's likely to go up besides the Ultimate, but I'll tell you my two favorites. There's so many different versions of MST. It's actually the card, I believe, with the most different rarities. So you have tons of expansive options, and they can't all get bought out, right? Market looks at John, hold my beer. Well, we see secret rares at like as low as $2 from the legendary collections like Joey's and Kaiba's World. My personal favorite, though, is the DT along with the secret rare. The DT makes me relatively happy, and you know you're always going to have something like Platinum Rare as your budget holo option, but there's definitely plenty of options to go around. You can scroll through, find what you like. Personally, I'd go with this just to trigger people. Personally, just my taste. But you have plenty of options to choose from. So many different supers now. It's actually ridiculous. So kind of decide, pick out your own, and don't feel pressure to go for something like an ulti. There's plenty of nice looking ones. Find your own path with this one, boys. So thanks for watching today's Market Watch. What did you think of the crazy dropping prices of Dark Saviors and the actual sellouts of some of these? I think this sellout was kind of reasonable considering Magibolt started at 20s plus, and then you know, that deck turned out to be nothing. Everybody knows this deck is going to perform. The question is, how much? What will it do in a meta where things don't exist? And what will be able to possibly counter it that we don't see coming? I still think it's going to be a takeover, but definitely things to consider. And I would be going through the cheaper cards a little, as well as making other considerations of how you want to play your deck before actually purchasing. But you can use code HOC What's Good YouTube 5 for 5% off on Yu-Gi-Oh! Singles. And also, like I said, use Farfa5 over here on YugiOhCity.com if you're from the UK. I think you'll be a happy shopper there as well right now. Thanks for watching, guys.